Imagine waking up tomorrow to a world without a single mosquito. No buzzing near your ears. No itchy bites. No frantic search for insect repellent on warm summer nights. At first, it sounds like a dream come true. After all, mosquitoes are responsible for spreading diseases that kill hundreds of thousands of people every year. If they vanished overnight, wouldn't the world instantly become a better place? The surprising answer is far more complicated than most people realize. For thousands of years, mosquitoes have been among humanity's greatest enemies. Long before people understood germs or viruses, entire civilizations feared places where swarms of mosquitoes thrived. Malaria alone has shaped the outcome of wars, influenced where cities were built, and changed the course of history. Even today, diseases like malaria, dengue, yellow fever, Zika, and chikungunya continue to affect millions of people. From a human perspective, mosquitoes seem almost entirely harmful. So why hasn't nature found a way to eliminate them? The first surprising fact is that not all mosquitoes are bloodsuckers. Out of more than 3,500 known mosquito species, only a relatively small number regularly bite humans. Even among those that do bite, it's only the females that drink blood. Males survive entirely on nectar from flowers. In fact, blood isn't even their food. Female mosquitoes need the proteins found in blood to produce eggs. Without it, many species simply cannot reproduce. This changes the picture completely. What we think of as a tiny flying vampire is actually part of a much larger and more complex life cycle. Mosquitoes begin their lives in water, where they hatch as larvae. These tiny aquatic creatures spend their days feeding on algae, bacteria, and microscopic organic matter. As they grow, they help recycle nutrients within ponds, wetlands, and temporary pools before emerging as flying adults. Now imagine every mosquito disappearing overnight. The most immediate effect would be obvious. The transmission of mosquito-borne diseases would collapse. Hospitals in many parts of the world would see dramatic reductions in malaria and dengue cases. Hundreds of thousands of lives could potentially be saved each year. Entire regions that struggle with mosquito-borne illnesses could experience longer life expectancy, healthier children, and stronger economies. It would be one of the greatest public health victories in human history. But nature rarely gives without taking something away. Mosquito larvae are food for countless freshwater animals. Small fish, dragonfly larvae, beetles, frogs, salamanders, and many aquatic insects rely on them, especially during breeding seasons. In Arctic regions, where mosquito populations explode during the brief summer, enormous numbers of migratory birds depend on mosquitoes to feed themselves and their chicks. A sudden disappearance could reduce food availability during critical stages of reproduction. Would these animals go extinct? Probably not. Most predators that eat mosquitoes are generalists. They also consume flies, worms, and many other insects. Over time, many would switch to different prey. Nature often adapts remarkably well when one food source declines, but that adjustment wouldn't happen overnight. Some local ecosystems could experience temporary disruptions before finding a new balance. Then there are the plants. Because male mosquitoes and many females regularly drink flower nectar, they also serve as pollinators. They are nowhere near as important as bees or butterflies, but they still help pollinate certain species of wildflowers, especially in northern environments where insect diversity is lower. Some orchids and other specialized plants appear to receive regular visits from mosquitoes. Losing these pollinators could reduce seed production for a handful of plant species, although scientists believe most would eventually be pollinated by other insects. The story becomes even stranger when we consider evolution itself. Mosquitoes have existed for over 100 million years. They shared the planet with dinosaurs. During that immense span of time, countless organisms evolved alongside them. Parasites adapted to use mosquitoes as carriers. Animals evolved behaviors to avoid mosquito swarms. Humans developed genetic traits in response to mosquito-borne diseases. One famous example is the sickle cell trait, which provides partial protection against severe malaria. Although the mutation can cause serious health problems when inherited from both parents, it became common in certain populations because it increased survival where malaria was widespread. In a world without mosquitoes, future generations would no longer face the same evolutionary pressures. Diseases that once shaped human genetics would gradually lose their influence. Evolution itself would quietly begin moving in a different direction. But here's an even deeper question. Could mosquitoes actually disappear naturally? The answer is unlikely. Mosquitoes are astonishingly adaptable. They breed in ponds, marshes, tree holes, discarded tires, flower pots, gutters, and even bottle caps filled with rainwater. Some species survive freezing winters. Others thrive in tropical heat. Their eggs can endure dry conditions for months before hatching when water returns. They have conquered nearly every continent except Antarctica. Because of this resilience, scientists have explored targeted methods instead of trying to eliminate every mosquito. One promising approach involves genetically modifying specific disease-carrying species so their populations decline over time. Another uses bacteria called Wolbachia, which can reduce a mosquito's ability to spread viruses like dengue. These strategies focus only on the most dangerous species while leaving thousands of harmless mosquito species untouched. Why not wipe out every mosquito anyway? Because ecosystems are incredibly difficult to predict. History is filled with examples of humans removing one species only to create unexpected problems elsewhere. Introduced animals became invasive. Predator populations collapsed. Food webs shifted in ways nobody anticipated. Even when a species seems annoying or dangerous, it often occupies connections we don't fully understand. There's another lesson hiding here. Humans tend to judge animals by how they affect us personally. We love butterflies because they're beautiful. We admire bees because they produce honey. We dislike mosquitoes because they bite us. But evolution doesn't reward beauty or kindness. It rewards survival. Mosquitoes are not evil. They are simply extraordinarily successful organisms following the same biological rules that every living thing obeys. In fact, from nature's perspective, mosquitoes are among the greatest survival stories ever written. Tiny, fragile, and hunted by countless predators, they have survived asteroid impacts, ice ages, continental shifts, and millions of years of environmental change. Against all odds, they became one of the most widespread groups of animals on Earth. So if mosquitoes vanished tomorrow, humanity would almost certainly celebrate. Millions of lives could be saved from devastating diseases, and countless families would be spared unimaginable suffering. Yet the disappearance would also ripple quietly through lakes, forests, wetlands, and food webs, reminding us that even the smallest creatures can hold surprisingly important roles in the living systems around us. Perhaps the most remarkable realization is that mosquitoes reveal something far bigger than themselves. They remind us that nature is not designed around human comfort. Every species, no matter how irritating or insignificant it seems, is a thread in an ancient tapestry woven over millions of years. Pull out one thread, and the pattern may change in ways we never expected.